Right. Jaden, anything in particular tonight that made the passing be a more part of your game? I know you're always part of that, but getting to 10 assists.
Just their tendencies on defense. We knew they're coming in. They're a very gappy defensive team. So just telling my shooters stay ready. Deli, Yvonne, Dwayne, Braden, all of them. Just stay ready. And my bigs, being my bigs, just simple pocket passes and they do the rest. So nothing crazy.
Do you feel like this was a good final game before getting into the Big 12?
Yeah, they're great. They're a great team. They can really shoot it. They can get after on the defensive end, and so that was definitely a great way to end the non-conference.
How would you evaluate the non-conference?
It was definitely the outcome that we wanted. Undefeated, but after that, that's behind us, and we're getting ready for Big 12 play, and excited to start that.
Cole, you were normally you're kind of just stoic and you play your game. That tonight you were a little bit more emotional. Is that you think that's true or not? You were, inside being tough.
I was just playing basketball, honestly. The emotions come out, when you're playing hard. Coach always tells us to play with that energy and playing with the edge. So something I've been trying to put in my game more, just screaming at the crowd, little stuff like that gets the crowd in it. And it's special here in McKale, so it definitely helps us. It gives us an edge on the other team when the crowd's going crazy.
Throughout this non-conference, you guys have kind of mixed in press coverages, different looks, full court press, half court press, stuff like that. Just what are your thoughts on the development of that, and how do you see that progressing from the beginning of the non-conference to now?
I think we've had spurts where it's been really good. Today it was all right. We got back in transition a couple times. I hit a couple threes. We got out of it, but just trying to work on that each and every day in practice. That's something we really work on, and I think we'll keep developing, getting better at that, like you said.
That this team can excel in a press coverage? What makes you guys good at that when you are clicking on that?
I think just our versatility defensively. We have a lot of long and big guys that could move around the court, and then we got guys like JB and Braden that are flying everywhere. So I think it definitely helps us.
Jay, just looking at your stats, I was a little surprised no double doubles yet until tonight. Does that mean anything to you to finally get that?
I just go out there and play, and the numbers are numbers. Definitely like the assists, like getting my teammates involved, and the rest just take care of itself.
Would you say playing against them any different in the sense they have the size they have, and also hitting the threes too? A little bit different than some of the other mid-majors you faced.
They're definitely a great team. They can stretch it like you said, hit it from three. They got some big guys that got some great post moves. So we did a decent job. Some stuff we need to clean up and work on, but that's every game. So
we saw you have a lot of confidence in being able to really stretch the floor today, being able to get to your spots at the elbow. How do you feel kind of going into conference play that you'll be able to have a little bit more freedom to create for yourselves, really find your spots on the floor, and be able to do more than just kind of fill your role on each possession?
I feel good, going into Big 12 play now, but like JB said, we're 0-0 now. Going into that, we're going to keep getting better each and every day, but I just trust my teammates, trust the work I put in, and I just went out there to play my game. I always try to make the right play, if that's me scoring or passing or, going after a loose ball, getting a rebound, put back. Just trying to play the game and make the right play every play.
Cohen, what have any of your teammates, particularly the guys who were here last year, told you about Big 12 play and what to expect compared to what you've already seen?
I haven't really talked to them much about it. We'll do that tomorrow. We have a little meeting, but I got recruited by a lot of Big 12 schools, so I know a lot about them, and I know it's a physical and tough league. Every night's just going to be a dogfight, so I'm excited for that, and that's what I came to Arizona for, was to play on the big stage and play with great teammates like Jaden Bradley, Tobe Walker. I can name them all, Mo Krivis, and going to Big 12 excited.
Like last year, at this point, you guys needed to do really well in the Big 12 to make up for what happened in non-conference. It's such a different vibe this year. How do you not look at it any differently and just kind of look at it that you have to win, try to win every game?
Definitely need to go in there and improve. It's our second year in the Big 12, so definitely need to go in there and improve, earn our respect. It's a very physical league, and every game, like Cole said, is going to be a battle, away game, home game. So just going in there, and you just got to be a tougher team and try to win the Big 12 for the first year in Arizona history. So
You talk about the group as a freshman group. All of you guys offer different things, but you just as a group.
Those are my guys. You know, I love them on and off the court, especially off the court. Like we're hanging out on the game, going to get food together. It's just special, you know, to come in here as a freshman and have those other freshmen next to me. You know, it makes my job easier to come out here every day and practice and go my hardest because I got guys like that on my team. So I'm excited for what's to come, and I think we're going to keep getting better.
Look back, Cole, as a freshman going through this, I mean, obviously you had the debut you had against Florida. It seemed, you know, it might look on the surface like this guy was ready. Do you feel like, you know, even those 13 games, there's some lessons you learned that, you know, that you've really kind of built on that you didn't maybe realize in October?
I mean, yeah, for sure. You know, every game's a different challenge. I got great senior leadership that helps me. So, but honestly, just going out there playing my game every day, every play, trying to make the right read, giving 110% effort, and that's all I can ask for.
Anything about like, you know, the way you're playing to, you know, stay out of foul trouble or get in the best position? Anything that you found particularly different to learn at this level?
Yeah, I mean, just being smart. Teams scout me a lot, you know, especially after that Florida game. So trying to make the right reads, like I said.
For either of you, there were a lot of dunks in this game, but I mean, me in particular, I was surprised by the one that Delhi had on the baseline. You guys ever seen him do that in practice or anything?
Yeah, he actually, I think he dunked on Cole one time, so crazy. But nah, Delhi's been, you know, he's been working in the summer, wherever he was at. You see his body's a little different, you know, more athletic. So, you know, kudos to Delhi. But we've been seeing that in practice, like I said. But you know, I'm excited for him in that moment he had.
Cole, there was that time in the first half, you scored on a couple times. One, Tobe got on a rebound, he just swooped around the guy, gave it to you, and then you missed a couple, got a couple offensive boards. I was wondering in that situation if you and Tobe ever chat about that, give each other a hard time, or if he says, hey, you stole my assist, or anything like that, or it's just like, no.
No, not really. I mean, next play mentality.
For both of you, coming back from the holiday break, was it hard to regain that focus from before the break, or was it just business as usual?
I think it was business as usual. You know, coach was harping on a beginner's mindset, coming in it with different energy. You know, that stuff's behind us, and now it's kind of a new season. So coming at it like it was our first game tonight, and going out there with energy and playing our hardest, and yeah.
All right, thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
No, I'm not disappointed at all. All right. First off, I want to, thank our fans. It's another, Christmas break game, no students, but, you basically have over 14,000 fans, and you've done that a couple games in a row. That's not normal. In this day and age, with people, attached to their phones or, preferring the comfort of a couch, so it's pretty special. So it was great. And, my next challenge would be like, I hope we could find a way to sell out every Big 12 game. We need to make McKale a zoo. It needs to be a zoo in there. Not only with the Zona Zoo, but all our native fans coming out of the woodwork, and they need to bring it. And it's a special place, and the special place is it derives from our fans, and then bringing that effort and that energy to the arena, and it just makes it a great community event. So I'm thankful, for a great turnout tonight from our fans.
Talking about that promo before a couple of games ago that you were hoping it would work. I mean,
Yeah, I guess the last couple of games we've been close, but the Wildcat walk up. I think there was a couple hundred tickets still available, and we'll fight for a real sellout. We don't need to short ourselves, and I just want our fans to know that I'm sure there's a couple hundred people tonight that looked at each other and said, "Man, I wish we had tickets to the game." Well, you couldn't get them. Come wait in line. If you're not able to buy them online, come wait online. Come wait in line, and let's make it a thing where, everybody gets to be a part of it, and that's what we want.
What do you think you guys got most out of this game in terms of the opponent for preparing?
Well, we played a really good team, and South Dakota State. I know they're a really good, mid-major program that has a opportunity to win their conference every single season. It's been to numerous NCAA tournaments. I don't know the exact number. I just know I've played against them in the tournament, and it always seems like their name's there, and they've got a great lineage of coaches, going back to TJ, and their guy now is at Drake, and this new guy, he's doing a great job. I'm sure he's the next up-and-comer in that region, and, he'll be, coaching, at a higher level school someday. So I was just really impressed with their physicality and the effort they played with. We weren't able to kind of, just push them out of the way. They fought back, and it was a really physical game, and that was great. It's exactly what we needed. We welcome that, and we know that's going to be the norm night in and night out going forward as we head into conference play.
About the preseason, obviously you did really well, and just how you got through it.
Yeah, it went well. I'll let you guys be the judge, of how good it went, and I'm not good at comparing one thing to the next. I'm just, right now, thankful we beat South Dakota State, and I'm going to get ready for Utah. But what I will say, it went well from the aspect I knew we were going to get challenged early, and we found a way to get through those games. On the W side, they didn't come easy. We learned a lot about ourselves, and then we were able to kind of come home after, those first 4 or 5 games and really kind of reset and really start our build, I thought. And I feel like the month of December, we got a lot better. And so I like how it set up with the challenges early that we found a way to get through. We had some practice time in December. I thought we responded and got better. And I think it was good to have a little break over Christmas and then come back. And I feel like our guys' energy and effort and practice is where it should be. I thought tonight's game was the perfect challenge.
One of the things, though, you also stayed healthy.
Yeah, for sure. We've had injuries. Are obviously an unfortunate thing, and we've avoided that, and hopefully, we'll continue to avoid that. Our doctors, our strength and conditioning staff, and our trainer J Rock. Those guys do an amazing job. Of working with me to help us manage it the right way. It's definitely a democratic process with how we approach that, and I appreciate the contributions all the medical, the trainers, and the strength and conditioning people make to our program.
South Dakota State got a few open looks, good looks at the three-point line. Just your thoughts on the...
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and watch them. I felt like, I don't know the exact number, at least a handful of them felt like they were like broken plays where we were on the verge of getting a turnover or, really pressuring them, making them uncomfortable, and, that we didn't quite get it. and, they picked up a loose ball or made an extra pass and banged in a three, and that allowed them to hang in the game. They missed a few of those, and, the game can get away a little bit earlier, but, I was just impressed with their ability to hang with it. That's what you do. And when you're on the road in those situations, you've got to be able to flip the script on possessions, and when things don't look like they're going their way, you've got to be able to, hustle, pick up a loose ball, and bang in a timely shot. And they really answered the bell on that today. And then, I think that they ended up shooting about 40%, but, when you're a coach like me, it feels like 60, because some of those floaters they hit and mid-range shots, we've got to do a better job contesting those, but I'll take my hats off to them. I mean, they made a lot of timely plays that kind of, kept them within striking distance.
Is there anything specific that you were hoping to see from certain guys tonight, or from the team as a whole, before we all head to conference play that you maybe were hoping to see an improvement on, or that you might have some
always those things. But I mean, the number one thing is just, we always want to key into our effort and our energy, and I think we're getting, more consistent in that area across the board, and just in making sure that we're not, overlooking certain strengths. Obviously we want to. We want to put pressure on the paint. We want to be strong on the glass, and making sure that our guys understand that and prioritize that, because those are ingredients for being successful night in and night out. So, I'm seeing lots of individual growth, but I think the stage is set to go into an incredibly tough conference and know where we're going to be tested night in and night out, and probably, it's a safe assumption to assume everything's not going to go our way every day. But I think we're built for the long haul. But talk is cheap.
On the injury side, Mo had his wrist hand taken.
Yeah,
I
I don't know what's going on there. I mean, I don't know if it's a luck thing or an injury. And I'm being honest with you, J-Rock, if I don't need to know, he really doesn't tell me. So, I see Mo wincing once in a while, and then I see him gritting his teeth and getting back out there. So.
Is that a good sign that he's 13 points, 11 rebounds, whatever he's got on his hand then?
Yeah, listen. No, I think he played well. If it was limiting him in a certain way, he probably wouldn't be playing. So.
One of the great things for you guys is on any given day, one dude, two dudes, three dudes can show up and do what they do. Like tonight, 3 double doubles. You know what I'm saying? And you don't even know which one. Can you talk about that maybe?
Yeah, I think there's a strength in numbers, and there's a strength in having significant contributors across the board, and it's hard to key on one guy. And we have really talented individual players who value playing team basketball, and and hopefully prioritize making the right play. And when you do that, the scoring distribution will get spread out a little bit. I thought Koa had a good rhythm and energy to him tonight. Probably was a little too aggressive on a few plays, but that's good. He's got to push that line of kind of learning where that line is, and I want him doing that. But I've really been challenging him on the glass, and when I haven't looked at the stats too close, but when I looked at him and I saw he had 14 rebounds, I think. I made sure I made sure it wasn't Tobey's name, and so I'm really proud of Koa, because I'm sure he's gotten a little annoyed with me making some comments here and there about his rebounding.
that Jaden is capable to do 10 assists almost any night with the way he handles the ball?
Yeah, the great thing about JB is like everything he does just equates to winning, not necessarily stats. And he's just not a stat-driven guy. But he's a really good passer. But he's a guy that just kind of plays the right way and gets off the ball. And when you get off the ball and make a simple pass, it's probably not going to always lead to a scoring opportunity. But the next guy might, it's the old hockey assist deal. So I just appreciate that he plays the right way and never gets caught up in stats. And I just really appreciate how consistent he is on a night in and night out basis.
Turnovers, it's a number for you guys that maybe looks higher than most teams, but you have the more possessions and just up tempo. Just your thoughts on controlling basketball.
I think that's something you always got to be mindful of. But it's a double-edged sword. You want a team to be aggressive and opportunistic, and you got to kind of learn how to push the line and push the envelope there a little bit. And, it's a simple deal a lot of time with these turnovers. A lot of the time is you just look across the board, and if everybody takes one mistake away from, their performance that night, it might cut 3 or 4 turnovers down, and now you're where you want to be, you know. But I mean, I think we also had a high number of assists tonight, right? So that's the kind of the give and take there. You don't always, you know, in life, in people, in the game of basketball, it's a package. It's really hard at the end of the day to isolate it down to a single variable and just get locked in on that, because there's so many give and takes out there. Like if you're really conservative, you don't turn the ball over, well, you might not get many assists, you might not score many points. If you are a crazy team and shoot quick every single time, you probably don't have any turnovers because you're getting shots on goal. You know, there's just lots of ways to look at it. So we want to have possessions that have real value and give us a real opportunity to put pressure on the defense. And sometimes, you know, you cross the line there and you'll turn the ball over a little bit. And so we'll always be mindful of that. But I like where we're at with, you know, how we're starting to move in the offense. Now we got to, you know, figure out if we can just tighten a few things up.
Go ahead.
Well, just talking about this, the contributors you had, 3 guys with double-doubles, Tobe just missing this time apparently. Does that surprise you at all, or does it matter even?
3 double-doubles?
Yeah, you got 3 guys and Tobe wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, I didn't write it in my pregame notes. You know, let's get 3 guys with double doubles tonight. But no, we have good players. We have good players who are starting to get comfortable. I feel like we've, you know, I mean, listen, talk is cheap, but I feel like we've really improved, like since like, you know, the UCLA game. I think we're a different team, and that's exciting because that's, you know, that's what the build should be about.
If I could, you have a number of fantastic freshmen, we all know that, 3 of the 3 starters. Have they even exceeded your expectations?
That's a great question. I guess my best answer is I'm withholding judgment. You know, I mean, there's you know, there's a long road ahead, and so you know, but I'm withholding judgment. Let's also put it this way: I'm not putting any limitations on these guys, and I'm not going to be surprised, you know, if that ultimately is the outcome, and we're like, wow, we knew they were good, but maybe they were even better than we thought. I think that would be a great thing, but we're not there yet.
Changing, college sports is changing and evolving as the years go on. You're getting into the Big 12 play. Baylor just added a player, James
I'm not
Nagy.
playing that game. Listen, I mean, like, guys, it's so crazy right now. And, you know, I guess the only thing that I would say is frustrating is you just don't know what direction things are coming from. You're just trying to coach your team. And there's no way, it's not a compliance issue, it's not whatever. Why doesn't everybody know what's going to be allowed and what's not going to be allowed? Why are we surprised by things? And maybe that's a me fault for having my head in the sand and not being on social media. I mean, I could admit that could be a me fault, but like, man, I think it should be a little more obvious what is going to be allowed and not allowed. I mean, that to me, like, if you're talking about a real level playing field, let's start with that. This is almost as crazy as a couple years ago when they said double transfers weren't going to be eligible. So we literally had a guy in the NCAA office sit in my office, tell us, don't recruit double transfers. This is in the summer. They're not going to be eligible. They're going to deny all the waivers. Okay, we didn't recruit double transfers. Well, that January, all the double transfers got eligible everywhere. So, like, it's just, there's just literally no credibility, and it sucks. But you know what I'm excited about? Arizona basketball. And I'm excited about playing at Utah on Saturday, and I'm not going to be a spokesperson for any of this stuff. So I'm done talking about it. Sorry, Bruce.
I was wondering if it could get to the point, in your opinion, where an NBA guy who still hasn't
Done.
played all 4 years
Not
of college.
talking about it. You guys already know how I feel, and I just don't want to be a quote on that stuff. I want to be a quote on Arizona basketball and what we have going right now, and let's stay locked into the main thing. You know, Arizona basketball and Arizona football winning the Holiday Bowl. That's as good as it's as deep as I can go in my in my Rolodex right now.
Have you done any advanced look at Utah yet, or is there?
Right when I get out of here, I'm going to go watch the game on TV. Yep, it's playing right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, just in a pretty good place heading conference. Does it feel much different to you to reflect on that, just as far as last year you were desperate entering?
Nope. Man, short memory. Yeah, I'm locked into where I am now. I love where we're at, but I know how difficult it's going to be where we're going.
Just the games you played up in Utah, you had, I mean, you came back from Maui that one year and they beat you, and then triple overtime a couple years ago. You know, is there anything about that place?
It's got my full attention. I mean, listen, Utah is a Big 12 team. They've got a great basketball tradition there. You know, they got a new head coach who I'm sure is trying to figure this college basketball thing out, and I'm sure he's learning fast. So, you know, we expect Saturday to be a knockdown drag-out. Thanks, guys.